Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Bullring, presented by Five Star Race Car Bodies. I'm Alan Dietz, along with America's racing sweetheart herself, Jess Ballard. And the Bullring is back, and the man who coined that term that you love so much, Tom Roberts, is going to be here to tell us who the 15 semifinalists are for the KDDP.
I am so excited. And I don't know if you were watching any rain coverage this weekend,
I
but
try not to.
well, they had him on for and they had like an Alan Kulwicki segment, and he was on there, and I was like, that's our guy.
Well, we're going to tell you who those 15 drivers are. We'll also be joined by Bobby Santos III, who will be at the Children's Dream Fun 50 at Citrus County Speedway March 2nd for the must-see winged sprint cars. Also on March 2nd, we'll have the Alabama 200 from Montgomery Motor Speedway in Alabama. Stan Narrison will join us. Kasey Kleyn out of the Northwest. He's got a lot of big plans this year. He'll be with us as well. And we'll talk to Taylor Kitchen, who will get us caught up on everything that happened in Daytona just a couple of days ago with William Byron winning the Daytona 500. Now, does Travis get a bonus for that, or only if Alex Bowman would have won?
No, it's the whole company, any car, any of the four cars. And I was excited because I felt like right there at the end, I was like, it's a good chance Travis is going to walk home with a bonus. And I didn't really, I'm just kidding. I did care, but
yeah,
it was fun to watch.
I was going to make a joke, but I don't think I will. Probably get me in trouble, but I'll tell it to you after this.
Okay.
When we come back, Bobby Santos III will join us to talk about must-see wing sprint cars in Florida.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
The hunt for the bear is on at Montgomery Motor Speedway on Saturday, March 2nd for the 60th annual Alabama 200. Come see the best pro late models in the country race for 200 laps and $10,000 to win. And see the Modifieds of Mayhem compete for $2,000 to win. It's the 60th annual Alabama 200, Saturday, March 2nd at Montgomery Motor Speedway. For more information on the Alabama 200, go to montgomerymotorspeedway.org.
Five Star Bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials. Tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5 Star.
Hey, I'm William Byron, and you're watching Racing America.
Welcome back to the Bullring, presented by Five Star Race Car Bodies. And Jess, our first guest on the poll today. You'll get to see him with the must-see racing sprint cars coming up March 2nd at Citrus County Speedway. That's Bobby Santos III. Bobby, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well, what have you got going on here in 2024? We see in wing sprint cars, non-wing sprint cars, tour modifieds, a little bit of everything. Is that kind of what's on the docket again this year?
Yeah, the last couple of years, it's kind of what we've been doing. Got our USAC Silver Crown car, our non-wing sprint car, wing sprint car, some midget and super modified racing with Jeff West, and some modified racing with the Tinios again. But getting ready actually next weekend to go run our first race this year with the wing must-see race down in Citrus County in Florida.
Well, I always got to ask this question when we got cool backgrounds. Where are you calling in from today?
I am in Brownsburg, Indiana, in my race shop actually. Working on my lunch break right now, just working on the race car, getting ready for next week.
I love it. Travis and I used to live in Brownsburg.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like, Charlotte's like the NASCAR, everyone's here. But then I feel like Brownsburg is like everyone else. And it's a good mix of, you got all kinds of cool neighbors down there.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy it here. Got a lot of good neighbors. A lot of basically, if I can't accomplish something on my race car, I have somebody next door or within a 5 or 10 minute drive that can help me out that can do it. Access to parts and pieces and everything we need is really close. It's really neat racing town.
As Bobby said, the must-see racing sprint cars, they will be coming to Racing America here in 2024, and you'll be able to see the Children's Dream Fund 50 here on Racing America March 2nd if you're a subscriber. I do want to touch on that, but folks know you as a Northeastern guy. How long have you had to shop in Brownsburg, and for you, is it just a way to get more centrally located for the sprint type stuff?
Yeah, I mean, basically the focus of my racing the last 10, 12 years has been the sprint car midget racing. I've just been lucky enough with Dick and DJ Racing gave me an opportunity to do it for a living. In New England, I love the modifieds, but as a driver, you really can't race for a living. Where in Indiana, kind of have the opportunity to do open wheel racing full time. So that's what I do. I guess this is my 10th year now with DJ Racing. But yeah, working in the shop every day and racing the cars. Been pretty fortunate.
Are you able to tell us a little bit about that Children's Dream Fund that's associated with this race coming up?
I know it is something that is related to the Dutton family.
Mm-hmm.
He's putting the race on, and I know this is the second annual race they're doing. Honestly, this is kind of a last minute plan for us. We decided in the last week or so that we're going to go do this race. So I'm looking forward to meeting him and his family and learning what this race is all about, and just really excited and appreciate the effort that everybody put in to put together a purse and raise money for a good cause at the same time.
When you look at this race, I believe all the money, as I understand it, is going to the Children's Dream Fund that's raised through this race. Ari Lyndyke Jr., Davey Hamilton Jr., the DeCares. I mean, you just go down the list, yourself included. Brian Gerster, I mean, Jimmy McCune. There are so many good drivers entered for this race. How do you think a winged sprint race on a track this size is going to play out? I mean, you guys have got so much speed that, I mean, you're going to be surrounded by cars the entire race, I would imagine.
Yeah, so it's a track I've never raced on before, but being a quarter mile on a wing sprint car ought to be a busy full racetrack. But from what I hear, the track races very well, that you can pass and race, and really that's all you can ask for any racetrack of any size. But looking forward to the competition level, the quality cars that we're going down there to race against. To me, that's what it's all about, and why we decided last minute to come was the quality of drivers and cars that are competing.
Any idea right now what your tour type modified plans look like this year?
Right now we're planning actually for the icebreaker at Thompson. We're starting with that, and then the week after that there's an open show at Loudon, and I think right now we're going to start the year with those couple of races and kind of build on that on what we're going to do. But I love going home and racing the modifieds. I mean, it's a good opportunity for me to go home and see my family first of all, and just racing against guys that I grew up racing against. And as far as I'm concerned, that's one of the toughest pit areas in racing is competing against those modified guys.
And Jess, you know what's best of everything Bobby's mentioned so far? It's all going to be on Racing America. So be sure, Bobby, and let your folks and everybody else know to see you here over the next month or so on streaming television. It's Racing America.
Yep, yes, sir. I know Thompson does a good job with that, and I remember watching. It was so cold last year at the World Series. After the modified race, went home and watched the rest of it on Race America on my couch. So it was nope. They do a good job, good coverage.
Well, I appreciate you joining us, Bobby. I wish you the best of luck throughout the season, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you more as we move forward in 2024.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that means that we're doing a good job on our end if you guys are wanting to talk to us.
That's right. Thanks again, Bobby.
Okay, thanks a lot for having me on, guys. Thank you.
All right, Bobby Santos III. Also, March 2nd, the Alabama 200 at Montgomery Motor Speedway. Stan Narrison, he'll join us after this.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Come to Hickory Motor Speedway March 15th and 16th for the 19th annual Easter Bunny Weekend of Speed. See the past super late models kick off the season with not one, but 2 huge nights of racing. The action begins on Friday, March 15th and continues Saturday, March 16th with nearly 500 laps of action. It's the Easter Bunny Weekend of Speed from Hickory Motor Speedway, only on Racing America.
This is Racing America, the biggest stars.
I enjoyed it. I felt good out there. I would love to come here and race.
And the inside info.
This is the T-bar setup. This clips into the bottom of the cam lock.
The only fast channel powered by the NASCAR Cup team owners who know all about speed.
How am I even going to drive for 3.5 hours without having a radio in the car?
The most NASCAR team content anywhere. Climb on board.
Hey, I'm Steven Nassie, and you're watching Racing America.
Glad to have you back with us on Bullring this afternoon. Our next guest, the general manager at Montgomery Motor Speedway in Alabama. That is Stan Narrison. And Stan, I know you're fired up and ready to go and got that good-looking fella looking over your shoulder right now, ready for March 2nd.
Man, we are so ready for it. It's amazing that the season is already here. Kind of snuck up on us this year a little bit, but yeah, really looking forward. 60th anniversary for the Alabama 200, and man, the excitement is just rolling for this race between the modifieds, pro late models, and late model sportsmen. Just going to be a big weekend.
I mean, 60th, that is crazy. I mean, there's not many other Crown Jewel events that I think are at 60. I mean, that's incredible. Do you have anything special planned for the 60th, or is it just going to be business as usual this year?
Oh, no, it's everything special. We've got a whole group of new sponsors that have come on, everybody from Ingalls Demolition to 231, Range 231, a golfing place. We figured if you weren't frustrated enough in racing, you might as well take up the sport of golf and really frustrate yourself. But, you know, we've got some neat things going on. This is the first year we've tried to do a Friday night show with the late model sportsmen, give them an opportunity to run for a bear. That'll be after practice on Friday, 7 o'clock. Those cars always put on a great show. With a 50 lapper, I think that'll be very entertaining. And then Saturday, you know, we've always tried to jam in 3 divisions on our Saturday show, and it just gets tight. So we decided this year we would have an on-track autograph session, give the fans an opportunity to meet the drivers. And so we'll have that. That's a little bit special. We've got some local folks coming in. Hopefully the mayor will be back this year. And, you know, we're just going to have a good time, put on a great show. And, man, what competition we've got rolling in for this shot at the Bear.
Well, it's one of the biggest pro late model races in the country, paying $10,000 to win. And, you know, the thing that I try to emphasize to people about this race when we talk about it being the 60th Alabama 200, this race is the oldest pavement race in Alabama, including Talladega.
Oh, absolutely. The track's been here 71 years now. They didn't run the Alabama 200. In fact, it's got an interesting history. It's moved from track to track. At one point, it was 2 100-lap sportsman races. So it's been a little bit mixed up. But, 60 solid years of running this. And, what a tradition with the, I know we've got a story coming out in the next day or two, just talking about the history and different people that have won this race and just the amount of folks that have been involved in this, everything from when it was a super late model race to, of course, now it being a pro late model race.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was a Grand National race, right? It was a Cup race at one point.
I believe so. Yeah. That's why I've got our boy Elgin on it right now, and he's putting all the stats together so we can get that out, because it is some very, very interesting things. I think Rat Lane might have won the first.
What a name! It's right up there with Dick Passwater.
Yeah, you look through there, you definitely see some great names that have competed at this racetrack.
And you know what's another thing that I'm excited about is the Alabama 200 this year is going to be a MAV race for Short Track America.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And just by the way, if you got Elgin on getting all that data together, we're in good hands.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have some stats. Also, I feel like, everyone, you got the big super races and everyone loves to watch big super races. Where I'm at right now, there's so much racing going on, but I am not going to miss a big pro late model race. If there's a pro late model race on, I am not going to miss that, because I know it's either going to be really, really good racing and or some exciting carnage. And so
at least she's honest.
Yeah, I am. So in 2024, I will not be missing any pro late model races. This is certainly one of the top ones that you got to watch.
We're going to definitely keep the carnage. Try to keep it to a minimum.
Yes.
I think we had enough. I think we had enough of that one night at Speed Weeks, or a couple of nights down there. So, as a promoter, when you see the whole field wrecking, it makes you a little bit nervous knowing you've got a race in 3 weeks from there.
Oh, yeah.
But, one of the neat things also, rarely do the pros get a chance to run 200 laps, have controlled cautions. It really is the next level of late model racing. And, we're no different than the big boys. We like to start the year off with our biggest event, and this definitely is. And I know there's a lot of people that have their eye on that Bear, are looking to take it home. Some of them I've had to keep double locks on the office just to be sure they don't get me.
And you know what else is big this year is for the first time, the pros are going to be on the same card as the Southern Super Series when the super late models come.
Man, that show, we talked about doing it last year, and the excitement level was just tremendous. So we went ahead, Tim and I scheduled it, pros, supers, and of course the street stocks also. So it's going to be, 3 great divisions of racing. First time, I don't know. Obviously, since I've been here, I've never had supers and pros together. And just the excitement that came from not only the racers, but from the fans. Our local fans were like, they just couldn't believe that we were going to put on that big of a show. So I'm really looking forward to that April 13th date. I think it's going to be big for the track. I talked to this last week, I've talked to quite a few competitors that are really looking forward to it. And some of these super guys that are going to bring a pro car with them. So it should be great fields in both divisions.
Well, Stan, we can't wait for it all to get started. We love Montgomery Motor Speedway and love being able to kick it off with the Alabama 200. Wish you the best of luck. And as always, if you need anything, just let us know.
Well, we sure do appreciate it. Hope to see you at the 200. Come on out, folks. Check us out at MontgomeryMotorspeedway.org.
Be sure to check that out again, March 2nd, Alabama 200 at Montgomery Motor Speedway. We come back, we'll talk to Kasey Kleyn from out west about some big plans he's got in 2024.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
I bet, that's what they all say. Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America, it's in our DNA.
Come to Hickory Motor Speedway, March 15th and 16th for the 19th annual Easter Bunny Weekend of Speed. See the past super late models kick off the season with not one, but 2 huge nights of racing. The action begins on Friday, March 15th and continues Saturday, March 16th with nearly 500 laps of action. It's the Easter Bunny Weekend of Speed from Hickory Motor Speedway, only on Racing America.
Welcome back to Bullring, presented by Five Star Race Car Bodies. Alan and Jess here with you this afternoon. And, of course, we've had the pleasure to have the Northwest Super Late Model Series on Racing America the last few years. We'll have the Northwest Super Late Models back this year with some additional things to come in the Northwest to keep your eyes on. And one of the races, or one of the racers that you get to watch through that, is Kasey Kleyn, and Kasey is joining us now. Kasey, thanks for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, I do want to talk to you about your 2024 plans here in a little bit, but first off, got a great-looking race car. I think I told you that last year. Red number ones are just great-looking race cars, and they're even better when they're in victory lane. You had a pretty good 2023. How would you assess it?
Yeah, we definitely had our best season yet in 2023. It really helped joining Trevor Christiani, having him set up our cars. We were able to get to victory lane multiple times, and we were able to go compete at the big races and do good still at those type of races. So it really gave us a lot of momentum going into this 2024 season.
Yeah, really solid season, like Alan said. What can you tell us about your 2024 plans?
So we're gonna be doing a lot more racing back east. We're going to the Rattler coming up here in less than a month, and then we're gonna do Florida right after that. We're gonna try to race back east, race with a lot more competition, and then we are gonna make one ARCA start this year at Tri-Cities.
Wow, that's awesome. And I was talking to your mom on Facebook, and she had mentioned the Rattler to me, and that really stuck out. Being based out in the Northwest, Trevor Christiani's based out in the Northwest. Do you tackle these races any differently in the East as far as will you have a car back east that you're going to race, or are you guys planning on, doing it all back and forth from Washington?
We're gonna try to do it all back and forth from Washington. We got a brand new super late model being built right now, so we're gonna have 2 super late models. So we're gonna try to bring one back there and keep it maybe for a couple weeks so we can go like 2, 3 races in a row before we have to bring it back. And then we're gonna have one here obviously to run. It's our one we've been running, just gonna keep it here because it's not as nice, and we want to have our best stuff down back east because the competition is so much stronger than it is here.
So that ARCA start is always a huge start for racers working their way up the ranks. Are you going to be running a family car, or are you able to share what team you'll be running with?
I don't know if I'm able to share what team I'll
Okay,
be
we'll
running
get you
with
on
yet,
when you are.
but it is gonna be at a track I know really well, so that helps.
Yeah, you had mentioned Tri-Cities, and of course we've seen races from Tri-Cities here on Racing America. It's triangular shaped and definitely a tricky racetrack. What for you was the decision going into Racing East? I mean, I gotta think that the biggest thing is exposure, and I like to think that Racing America has helped in the last few years with, Hayden Plybon and yourself and Evan Getz, Trevor Christiani. I mean, the names have become a lot more familiar on a bigger stage. But do you feel like in order to take that next step, you had to come east?
Yeah, the exposure definitely is a big part, but the competition is so much stronger back there, and you're racing with some of the best, and so it helps even more than the exposure just to be able to have that experience of racing with the best drivers in the country, and then the exposure on top of it when you're doing good and you can compete with those guys, it just looks so much better than if you were to win in the Northwest.
Well, I think you're going to be able to compete with these guys. We've seen how good other West Coast drivers have done, like Jeremy Doss and of course Derek Thorne. But again, I even go to Trevor Christiani again, and the guy out in Colorado that drives the 08. What's his name? Can't think of his name right now, but he's ran at the Derby and done very good the last couple of years. I think you'll do just as well, and really looking forward to seeing it. I know we'll get to see a lot of you here on Racing America.
Thank you.
All right, that is Kasey Kleyn, and as he said, we'll be able to see him at the Rattler here on Racing America in about a month. Stick around, more of the Bullring when we come back.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials. Tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
I bet, that's what they all say. Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America, it's in our DNA.
Yeah, I started in legend cars out at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the summer shootout, so that was probably the first 2 years that I raced. spent most of my time out there racing at Concord Speedway as well on the quarter-mile track, and then as I progressed further into the ranks, I got into late model racing at Hickory. Raced at Hickory Motor Speedway for a while. Raced at Concord as well in the late model. So yeah, just a lot of different tracks around the Southeast, but definitely learned a lot.
Well, no one told me. So it was like Rudy was crying on the radio. So I was like, dude, like, I hope he's crying for a good reason. But I mean, I guess he was. He was a ball of emotion there. And so I was still like, did we actually win or not? And then I think Brandon came on the radio and said, that we were first or whatever. So it still hasn't sunk in yet. So I feel like it's just kind of a blur, and I feel like there's just so many things that have to go your way to win a race like this, and it's special. I mean, this is the biggest race, so it's and stuff happens so fast. So it's honestly a chess game that you're just trying to play, and I feel like we were able to come out on top.
Well, that's what Daytona 500 winner William Byron had to say after his exciting victory on Monday night. And, of course, the road to the Cup now continues to Atlanta. Normally this is when we get Toby's take.
I know, but
Toby's not here. It's Taylor's take today. Who do we have, Jess?
we have Miss Taylor Kitchen joining us. And while I love having Toby in the studio with us, I'm very excited about this. Thank you for joining us.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you both.
And I definitely want to talk to you about your podcast, Taylor. But before we do that, let's delve back into Daytona here. What were your impressions of the 500?
It felt really weird just because of how stage one was laid out. It just really felt funky. I'm calling this one the Funky 500 just because of how the feel was. It was on a Monday. The fuel strategy was really weird in terms of, fuel save. Pit road strategy was really interesting. And then how the race ended too was kind of odd, felt anticlimactic. But overall, though, a solid 500, but definitely one of the weirder ones I think I've seen.
Can I just say,
Sure.
I just interrupted you.
No, that's fine.
That's exactly what Zach and I said this morning in the office. I couldn't have said it any better and more nicely than Taylor put it.
Yeah, I'm sure she put it more eloquently than you did. But it was like, it's awesome when you have a close finish at the end, but it really was just confusion for like 15 seconds. Like,
yeah,
you got to remember what the overtime rules are, and then we got to go back to the footage, and then, and either way, it was going to be a great day for Rick Hendrick. Oh, and that was the other big thing is, I think it was 40 years almost to the date. Was it to the date of his, Cup Series debut? I mean, that's crazy. That is not going to help the allegations of NASCAR scripting things.
24 and 24.
Oh, no. Yes. Were you down there, Taylor? Were you in person?
No, gosh, I wish I was, but I was watching from home, and I really did have the same comment of like, wow, the script really is working out like so perfectly to the day for Hendrick, but a great accomplishment for them, and especially taking the prize 24 to victory lane for the big race on Hendrick's big day, celebrating 40 years. I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything better for Hendrick Motorsports.
What about the Xfinity race? Did you get to stay up and watch it?
I got to watch most of it. I was in between recording my recap of the Cup race during that, but I was able to watch the end. And like Austin Hill, I don't get how they keep letting him win these races. A three-peat, like, dude is insane. Just RCR, their super speedway program in general, is incredible. We all know this, but I'm also really good to see Natalie Decker have a solid night, a top 20 finish, led some laps.
Woohoo!
It was a great race too. I love the Xfinity series, produces some of the best action. I don't think it disappointed.
I will say, because y'all are probably too young to remember it, but it's weird when you make comparisons with Dale Earnhardt. But man, when you watch Austin Hill out there in those Xfinity races in that RCR car, it's It's kind of eerie how similar it looks to when Dale Earnhardt was in those restrictor plate races.
Really? In what way?
Just
like his driving style?
That, and just the fact that no matter where he's at on the racetrack, it's just like Taylor said, that 21 seems to find its way to the front, and it'll probably do the same thing in Atlanta this weekend.
Yeah. And I was really glad, too, that I just love racing under the lights. That was fun that the Xfinity race got to be a nighttime race.
Now,
Agree.
Now, I know, Jess, you're all about this type of stuff. I do want to mention Taylor's podcast, Above the Yellow Line with Taylor Kitchen, and I know you just love it.
Yes. I mean, okay, not to be biased, but to be biased. Obviously, I love anytime we get female voices in the sport, but we're getting to the point where, like, I feel we're really well represented, and we got really smart people talking about what's going on every week, and I like getting the girlies' takes. And so for the folks that maybe haven't tuned in, how frequently do you post? Where can people listen to you? And what's the vibe?
The vibe is NASCAR all day, any day, all the time. Literally, I'm posting all the time on social media at _Taylor Kitchen_ or at Above Yellow Line on all social media platforms. And we do live streams too every single week, so we can talk to and interact with you all about the sport, get your takes, hear your opinions, have a discussion. So we usually do those Thursday nights, but we always do race recaps. I always do those following the race on Sundays or Mondays, but literally it's all NASCAR Central at Above the Yellow Line.
And I will add, okay, so my favorite people to follow on TikTok are like influencers that I'm like, I feel like I'm talking to like my best friend. We're like on FaceTime. I feel like that's the vibe I get here with you. So if you're looking for something like that, girls and guys, Taylor's your girl.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I just love to chat. I love to chat, have those conversations. It's super chill, super fun community, and really proud of what we've been able to build the past few years. So join the A2IL crew. We're here to chat about NASCAR and motorsports in general.
Yeah, well, you do a great job, and I definitely would like to have you back on the show. You were the first person I thought of whenever Toby, talked. He's just like so many other people trying to figure out a way to get home from Daytona. So great job, Taylor. I hope everybody checks out Above the Yellow Line with Taylor Kitchen, and let's let this be the first of many times.
Absolutely. Thank you both for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Taylor Kitchen. When we come back, we're going to talk some KDDP, that's Kawiki Driver Development Program semifinalist, with Tom Robbins.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
I bet, that's what they all say. Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America, it's in our DNA.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
I'm Ty Majeski, and you're watching Racing America.
Welcome back to the Bullring, presented by Five Star Race Car Bodies. Alan and Jess here with you this afternoon. And, one of our favorite things here at Racing America is the Kawicki Driver Development Program. We've followed it for years and been a social partner with those folks for years. And now we're down to the top 15 semifinalists that were announced yesterday. Joining us from the KDDP program is Tom Roberts. Tom, thanks for joining us. And why don't you tell the folks why we can't see you today? Where are you?
Well, Alan and Jess, it's always a pleasure to be on with you. I refer to you guys as the dynamic duo of short track racing, and I'm actually in Aruba, and Tiravana, Aruba, and it's 86 degrees, partly cloudy outside. And one of the, I guess you could say, the negative things about the beautiful island of Aruba is that the internet connections and the Wi-Fi service is not exactly the best in the world. But that's where I am, and it's a pleasure to talk to you guys regardless of the connection and where I am.
Oh my gosh, we are so jealous. The sun is shining here today, but it's cold. It's definitely not Aruba. Also, Tom, okay, so obviously we had a lot of rain delay coverage over the weekend for the Daytona 500. So I'm trying to get my chores done while I'm waiting for on-track activity. And I come back in to the living room, and who do I see on my TV? You. I was so excited. They had I didn't catch what the name of the special was, but they had a really awesome special on Alan, and you were there.
Alan Kawicki.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, not Alan Dietz, although I'm sure you would have been present for that one too.
Yeah.
Gosh, and I forget who else was there with you. But anyway, I was so excited, and it was so good.
Well, that's great. I'm sure with the rain delays, they were able to really reach back in the archives and pull out numerous features, especially if they were able to find one with me in it. But through the years, I've actually done a lot of stuff. We've canned quite a bit of stuff for Fox relative to Alan and his career. But I did not hear that. But it's great to know that you saw my smiling face on TV, Jess.
Well, let's talk about some of these semifinalists. These 15 drivers will be parsed down to the 7 that'll be part of the Kawicki Driver Development Program. And there are so many on here that I'm looking at that we're familiar with just from our coverage here on Racing America, starting with Chase Berta, TJ DeCare, Ty Fredrickson, Derek Luchacki, Evan Getz, Jevin Goralski, Cassidy Hines, Taylor Hoare, Max, is it Kaler or Collar? Because I know he's been a part of it before.
Max Kaler.
That's what I thought. Cody King, Kendrick Cryer, Grant Thompson, Levon Vandergeest, and Brandon Varney. Pretty stout class. I noticed a couple of young ladies are on there, and I know, Jess, you'd love to see a young lady get back on the program.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's because I don't think there was one last year, was there?
Last couple of years.
Well, we had Kate Ray the year before.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
yep.
But yeah, obviously it's great. And man, I feel like we just had the banquet yesterday, which I guess was all the way back in December. But I mean, like Alan said, we just so look forward to this program. I always look forward to seeing the list of semifinalists. There's always such a great mixture, people from all over the place. Obviously, we typically do have a lot of Wisconsin drivers, but I feel like there's a great mix this year. And just this is the beginning of getting to know these drivers, following how their season's going to go, see their personalities come out. It's really our first time we get to connect with this year's class.
Well put, Jess. And like this year, it's amazing to see, you think that this program, this will actually be our 10th anniversary this year in existence. However, because of 2020 and the COVID year, we did not have a program that year, but this will be our 9th class. And just like last year, our 2023 class, it's like, how can you beat this? It's going to be tough, but it seems like, every year we're so blessed to have new blood and, like a sprinkling of names from the past that reemerge. And, this is, it's the same situation this year, that all the drivers like from 14 to 26 years of age, you got 12 different states that are represented. And like you mentioned, Jess, Wisconsin, we have 4 different drivers from Wisconsin, but all of the voting panel at KDDP just chomping at the bit to get to our interviews of all the semifinalists next week. We started the Zoom interviews last year, and it's added a new dimension, and it's almost as if it allows all of our voters to really get to know these drivers better before they have to make that monumental decision of just narrowing it down to our 7 finalists.
And
exciting time for the program, and just can't wait.
And already inside a month before it will be announced, the 7 KDDP finalists. Of course, you'll be able to hear and see that here on Racing America. Tom, thanks for taking a few minutes away from your vacation, and we look forward to hearing from you again here real soon.
Always a pleasure, and I just want to call out a couple of guys that have been so helpful to me and to the organization, over the last couple of months. Of course, that's my assistant, Jeff Coleth, who handled all the applications, and then a young man named Kasey Campbell, who's been so instrumental in all of our Zoom calls and formulating that end of our operation. So really appreciate being able to come on with you guys, and we really look forward to working with you guys as always moving forward.
Thanks a lot, Tom. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Jess.
Yes, sir. That is Tom Roberts, and be exciting to see who those 7 are that will be a part of the program here coming up in less than a month. When we come back, Jess and I are going to just chat a little bit. Aren't you excited? Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
I bet. That's what they all say. Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America, it's in our DNA.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
This is Racing America, the biggest stars.
I enjoyed it. I felt good out there. I would love to come here and race.
And the inside info.
This is the T-bar setup. This clips into the bottom of the cam lock.
The only fast channel powered by the NASCAR Cup team owners who know all about speed.
How am I even going to drive for 3.5 hours without having a radio in the car?
The most NASCAR team content anywhere. Climb on board.
The hunt for the bear is on at Montgomery Motor Speedway on Saturday, March 2nd for the 60th annual Alabama 200. Come see the best pro late models in the country race for 200 laps and $10,000 to win. And see the Modifieds of Mayhem compete for $2,000 to win. It's the 60th annual Alabama 200, Saturday, March 2nd at Montgomery Motor Speedway. For more information on the Alabama 200, go to MontgomeryMotorspeedway.org.
Glad to have you back here with us on the Bullring. Had to wait just a second there because Jess took a big swig of something and I heard a...
It's sweet tea. You're rubbing off on me. This man's blood is made of sweet tea. That's all that's pumping through those veins.
Well, I know my physique certainly shows it.
Well, and if you couldn't tell, even if you're listening and not watching, you can probably deduct that from this man's accent.
Right.
Sorry, that just turned into a roasting session. My bad. Go on.
Well, what we titled this segment today is banter. This is a banter segment.
Where he normally lists the guests, he just put banter. And it's like, are we bantering just the two of us?
Well, you know, this
Like
could also be another segment that also starts with a B. But you get what I'm saying? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
So we come off of Speed Weeks.
Yep. How about those Chiefs, first of all?
How about those Chiefs?
Yeah, congrats.
I know, very, very happy about that.
Speed Weeks.
So we leave East Bay of Volusia on the dirt. We leave New Smyrna on the pavement.
Yes.
Go down to Daytona. Saturday and Sunday kind of sucked. I don't think we were really able to get the full Daytona experience. But you know, I look at yesterday as we're taping. Great crowd. Yep. I mean, they didn't miss many folks at all having what they would have had Sunday.
That's right. And there's a lot of people that bought an Xfinity ticket that got to watch the Daytona 500.
And I thought the Daytona 500 was interesting. It definitely got crazy in those last 20 laps. I don't know how they didn't wreck sooner and bigger than they did.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you got to see the Xfinity race last night. I thought it was really good too.
Yeah, my bestie was leading laps.
That's right. And Will Bellamy.
We should have had her on the show.
I thought about that. Natalie Decker became only the third woman behind Patty Moise and Danica Patrick to lead, and I think she got a top 15, top 20 finish.
I think 18th. Yeah, top 20 for sure.
She did good, and that's Natalie Decker. And Natalie has not raced as much in the last couple of years, but that 36 car is a competitive car. She went out there, and I thought she did a good job.
Yeah. Yep. And she got married over the off season, and I think we'll see her now husband Derek run a few truck races. So they're just fun to follow.
Well, and just like that, we have bantered for 3 minutes.
Oh, wait, what were you going to say about Will? Will Bellamy.
No, I just said he shared on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're making me go over time.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, yeah, bantering's over. Everyone had a great time.
Yeah. So
Case closed.
When we come back, we will tell you what you can see starting next week here on Racing America. And from next week on, if you're a subscriber, you're going to get to see a ton of races. We'll tell you more about that when we come back.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Come to Hickory Motor Speedway March 15th and 16th for the 19th annual Easter Bunny Weekend of Speed. See the past super late models kick off the season with not one, but 2 huge nights of racing. The action begins on Friday, March 15th and continues Saturday, March 16th with nearly 500 laps of action. It's the Easter Bunny Weekend of Speed from Hickory Motor Speedway, only on Racing America.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Well, as we said, coming up around the corner here on Racing America, it's going to get really busy after February that, kind of focused on NASCAR and help us get ready for the season. March 2nd, we've already talked about it today. The Alabama 200 for the Show Me the Money Pro Late Models, 10,000 to win, Montgomery Motor Speedway. That's March 2nd, as well as the Children's Dream Fund 50 for the Must See Racing Sprint Cars at Citrus County Speedway. You'll be able to see both of those races for if you're a subscriber. Then in 2 weeks, March 16th weekend, pay-per-view, you'll be able to see the Easter Bunny 150 for the past Super Late Models, Carolina Mini Stock Challenge, and Mass Street Stocks will be there for both the Friday and Saturday portions of that show. And for subscribers, you'll be able to see the Rattler 250 for the SRL National Super Late Models, and that is going to be a lot of fun at South Alabama Speedway, as always.
That's a subscriber event?
That is a subscriber event.
I'm excited for that one.
Yes, and then as Bobby Santos mentioned, there's races scattered throughout here, but just kind of highlighting a few. We'll get into April. Subscribers for the first time, you'll be able to see the Icebreaker at Thompson Speedway in Connecticut, and then in a couple of weeks after that, it'll be the Northeast Classic at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and that's going to be huge. Past Super Late Models, Act Late Models, Tour Type Modified, Street Stock Open. Going to be a lot of stuff going on, and if you're not already doing it because you're watching on our social channels, go to racingamerica.tv. You're going to want to subscribe, and the great thing with subscriptions are that for our pay-per-view events, which we do have a few, kind of helps the promoters out with putting those big purses on.
Yeah.
You get subscriber discounts. So I think that's a pretty good deal.
One of my most valuable subscriptions I have, and the other day I was doing my 2024 budget, and I'm making my line items, and I realized I have 2 Racing America subscriptions, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why. I've been paying for my mother. I've been paying for my mother's subscription for the last 3 years, apparently. So, Mom, I'm kicking you off. You're gonna have to put your own card on.
No, you know what? We know some people. We could probably take care of her.
Okay, never mind.
You actually know some more people than I do. So, all right. When we come back, we'll wrap it up and hopefully get Jess's mom a subscription to Racing America.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance, the highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Get up on your feet, race fans.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Come to Hickory Motor Speedway, March 15th and 16th for the 19th annual Easter Bunny Weekend of Speed. See the past Super Late Models kick off the season with not one, but 2 huge nights of racing. The action begins on Friday, March 15th and continues Saturday, March 16th with nearly 500 laps of action. It's the Easter Bunny Weekend of Speed from Hickory Motor Speedway, only on Racing America.
Glad you folks could join us today. Also want to thank all of our guests today, including Bobby Santos III, Stan Narrison, Taylor Kitchen, Tom Roberts, and Kasey Kleyn. Really appreciate all of those folks for being with us. Of course, the NASCAR Cup Series this weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I believe the trucks and the Xfinity cars are going to be racing there on Saturday, so be sure to check that out. And then, as I said, when we come back here on the Bullring in 2 weeks, we're going to have a lot to cover. We'll be wrapping up the action from Montgomery and Citrus County. Looking forward to the Rattler and Easter Bunny 150. So be a lot coming up.
Yeah.
Be a lot coming up. And, of course, as news warrants, we'll have our Bullring hot laps as well. Keep an eye on those on our social pages coming up next week. So for Jess Ballard, I'm Alan Dietz saying so long, and we'll see you next time on the Bullring.